Hey, a little sign just popped up telling me that we are now live, Sherry.
Are we?
We are live. Hey, guess what? Would you believe that this is episode 41? We have been doing this for 41 weeks.
Oh, wow. That's so
I
awesome.
cannot believe that, but yes, we have been doing this for 41 weeks. This is episode 41. And today, our conversation is going to be on financial security. I can't wait to hear what you've got to say about that.
I got to say about that. What do you
Yes.
have to say about that? We
Oh,
better introduce ourselves first, though.
what minor details there. Well, guess what? I am Terry Ann Porter, life coach TA. It is time to defeat those lies of negative self-talk by first changing your perspective. Once you change your perspective, you will notice that there are some possibilities out in front of you, which will open up pathways onto which you can choose to proceed in truth. My co-host, Sherry.
Good morning. Good morning. For all of you that don't know me, I am Sherry Berger, and I am the owner of Here to There Consulting. We educate business owners with those tools to balance finances, life, and business so that we can have growth, more leadership, and more success in our business and our life, because we want to help you create the life and business that you deserve. Welcome, welcome. And I see that our friend Grace is here today, Terry Ann. Welcome, Grace. You actually came up in conversation today before we went live. We are on episode 41. So that means last week was episode 40. And we are out here trying to support the community, make a difference, help as many people as we can. And today we're going to talk about finances, which everybody loves. But we really like it when people show appreciation for us.
Look what I got in the mail.
I got one too, but you know what? We had technical difficulties this morning and I didn't get to go get mine. But guess where mine is? On my refrigerator. So, yes, tell her what send out cards it comes from. You go ahead, Terry Ann.
This came from Grace. Grace does send out cards. You don't know what to send to somebody, but you want to send them a note. Get hold of Grace. Look what she did. She just took a post that we did on Facebook, made it into a nice postcard, and told us, congratulations, here's to many more. And I tell you what, Grace, I was so excited when I saw this. Thank you so much.
We brought that up. We were like, that is so cool. And then I have it on my refrigerator. So I look at it and I go, oh, because my mission in life is to make a difference in others. And so to see when you show people that they matter and that they make a difference and use something like send out cards, it's just so amazing. That's just a little thing that you can do that goes a long way. What else did that make us talk about a little bit this morning, Terry Ann? How sometimes we have people in our life that we don't know that we think they should just know that we appreciate them. But how about if we told them that by using some form of appreciation marketing, like send out cards? So anyway, we want to definitely give you a shout out and let you know that just made our week this last week. And we've been so busy getting all this information together. Let's talk about our topic, Terry Ann. I'm excited about our topic. Some people aren't, but I am.
It's a tough discussion. This is definitely a tough discussion. Today's topic is, what is your definition of financial security? To some, it might be, well, when I have $1 million in the bank, then I'll feel financially secure. For others, it may be, if I can pay this week's bills, I'm financially secure. How do you define financial security for yourself? And just like our previous discussions, everyone's going to have probably a different definition. Sherry, what is your definition of financial security?
Well, I think having a plan, right? Having a budget, knowing if you get in a bind, what are you going to do? Remember, we even talked about that. I don't know if all of you know, Terry Ann and I have both been single parents, either once or twice or whatever. And we've been in those times when I remember I got a speeding ticket. My brother was so mad at me. We both banked at the same bank. And back then you could pay your bills at the bank. So I paid all my bills and I left the bank, and I guess I turned the wrong way, but I had a little 18-month-old. I didn't know how I was going to pay my rest of the week, how I was going to get groceries. I literally left all my money at the bank. But KCP&L, the gas company, all of them were paid. So all I was going to take is one poke and I would just lose it, right? So I turned the wrong way, and I was on my way to my mom and dad's house, and I got pulled over and got told I was going to get a ticket. I literally lost it, and the police officer believed me and let me go. My brother, the same day, I think we were going to the same event at mom and dad's, got a ticket. He was so mad at me, but it was true that I was struggling that much. But anyway, and then I remember another time as a single parent, my son got sick. All I needed was Tylenol, cold meds, normal things. I didn't have the money. I borrowed it from family, and that did not go well at all, right? So I decided after that, every month when I would get a little bit of money, I worked and I was going to school, I would put $20 in an envelope so that I could buy Tylenol or cold meds, or I called that my little emergency, and it was only $20. But I love the story that you were telling me before we went live. Tell them what a lady did for you, Terry Ann.
There was a time when very financially strapped.
Mm-hmm.
I was very nervous. I was scared. And I was talking with a friend. She folded up a $50 bill and she handed it to me. She said, stick this in your billfold. Pull it out if you need it. But if you don't, leave it in your billfold. I never pulled it out of my billfold. Just having it in there and knowing that if anything were to happen, I'm not strapped. I've got a way out. A few months later, this week, things resolved. We got everything taken care of. I could breathe again. I went to her and I pulled out that folded $50 bill that I had not touched the whole time, and I gave her back with such gratitude that the peace that I had, it was amazing. The peace that I had during that difficult time, just knowing that that was tucked away, made all the difference in the world. Forget the thousands in the bank. That little folded $50 bill in the billfold brought me more peace and security at that moment in my life. And I'm very grateful for the lessons she taught me.
And it's all about, right? What is that for you, your financial security? Of course, I teach everybody to do be debt free, have their 3 to 6 months, but that's not always what financial security is. And what is our amazing Grace saying today?
Grace says financial security is when I feel secure in the knowledge that my bills are paid and I have enough money to never worry about the next month's expenses ever again. If I can get the bills paid, I know they're paid this month. I like that.
So I want to give another shout out, okay? And this is about us just being good people, like your person putting that $50. You guys all know, I'm going to try not to cry. Father's Day was a little bit hard. I lost my second dad about 8 months ago. But you know what he did? I wanted to go to college. And of course, he was just a friend of mine that became, a mentor and a dad over time to me. He let me clean his house, and he would pay me $20, $30. And I did it like every 2 weeks. And I could bring my little Matthew with me, and I would make that little $20, $30. And he told me it was gas money so that I get back and forth to school. So to always know that if I got a flat tire, gas, that I had some money, and don't worry, I put it in an envelope, and I only used it for what I was told, because that was a blessing that God gave up me, right? Just like that woman with your $50. And so I always knew I had that amount of money. And so that gave me a lot of security with working. I worked at Shawnee Mission Hospital, and I was going to JUCO, but I always knew I had gas money to get to work or school, or a flat tire. So that was always a way of knowing that you were going to get that money, and having it earmarked for auto, right, expenses was that was a security.
Yes.
So, that's a security. If you know it's emergency fund, it's for auto, paying your bills. Kathy says every financial security is based on what you teach. mindset. That's true.
Very true. And that's why one person can have almost nothing and feel peace and secure. Somebody else could have large sums of money, but still be fretful and insecure and not at peace. It's very much a mindset.
But it's also about the Joneses, right? You look at the Joneses, and if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, I don't know why they call them the Joneses. But if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, like I drive paid for cars. I just chose to do that. So, but somebody else could have car payments and have a nicer, bigger house or car than me, but they're not as financially secure with the way they're, managing their money. So it's causing them stress, right? Because they're living above their means. You talked about a single parent, right? I told my little bit of my single parent. Believe me, I never had, but like Grace just said, to have enough money to pay your bills.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, with that $50 before we went live, and you're not telling people, that was not for you to go out to eat with.
Right.
So maybe you didn't have the money to go out to eat or get a cup of coffee with your friend or whatever else. By the way, when you meet your friends for coffee, you don't always have to buy a cup of coffee.
No way.
Yeah. And you can go to lunch with your friends and not spend money. You could eat before you go. I mean, it sounds, and sometimes maybe you want to buy something, but I'm saying that doesn't mean you can't hang out with your friends. Right. It just means, what did Kathy talk about? Your mindset of how you're going to hang out with your friends. And they don't need to know that you don't have it in your budget to eat. You can just show up. Because why do you go out to eat with your friend? Is it really for that silly food? Okay, maybe it is, but no, that's not always.
It's for that companionship.
Yeah. And Pam just made a good comment.
Pam says, I'm always blessed to get what I need and have learned that if I do for others, my faith brings me to where I need to be. Blessing and knowing that it's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, mindset.
Well, yeah. And realizing, I always say, if you help enough people get what they want, I know this is a saying, then you'll get what you need. But sometimes we think what we need, is it a want or is it a need? Grace brought up, if you have the 4 walls, that's what you really need. And my children at an early age always got taught between wants and needs. Mm-hmm. And my youngest son, sometimes I felt bad because I remember he had a tiny little basket of toys. That's all he had. And I remember we had 3 outfits. So I would hand wash them having an infant with 3 outfits, by the way. And one of them was a pink sleeper even, and you had to hand wash it. And I couldn't afford any more than what I had. But he was such a content, happy baby. And as a mom, I could look at that and go, oh my gosh, poor kid has no toys. And the kid had no outfits. Did he have no toys and no outfits? He never walked around naked. He had an outfit and he had toys. Maybe there was 10 of them and there were little rattles or whatever they were. But you know what? Give a kid a box, right? Mm-hmm. So my mindset as a mom, thinking that my oldest child didn't have much, if you talk to him today, he would be like, oh my gosh, my parents were amazing. And, he had a great childhood. Because you know what he really had that he needed? Love. That's what kids need. But sometimes us as adults, we think we need to give them more than maybe they have. But anyway, that's just my other his mindset was, my mom loves me more than anything and she plays with me and I have some toys and I have a box, right? But my mindset was, the kid only has 3 outfits and 10 toys. But what a bad mindset, right? Because if you watch the child, that's not.
The child was content and happy.
Yeah.
But then we compare ourselves. Oh my gosh, so-and-so just came over and saw that my child doesn't have this or that. There's no play gym. There's not this. And they even commented on it. Oh my gosh, I'm a bad person. And then we take those comments from other people who have nothing to do with our life or our expenses or whatever. And we take their comments and say, oh my gosh, I'm not good because they've given their kid this and I haven't given it to mine. That's where I think I know for myself, that's the hardest part comes from for me, is learning to shut off those comments from the other person.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have heard this story from Grace because I grew up with a.
Grace says, I grew up with a single mom, was told by a friend I was poor. But my grandma explained I had everything I needed, so how could I be poor? It's truly a mindset. I felt loved, blessed, and rich in life. I love that story.
Exactly. You have everything you need, so how could you be poor? And what is poor anyway? We live in the United States. Would you want to live in another country? When they say poor, they mean no water, no food. They mean, right?
Mhm.
Actually, not their basic needs. But the biggest human need that we all need, right, is connection and love. But to be financially secure, I think we always need to use money. Let's just talk about the word money. Nobody likes that. It's only a tool. It's amoral.
I like that.
So the way we budget and the way we use our money, it's just a tool. So if you have a shovel and you get a bigger shovel, it still matters. How did you use the shovel to begin with? And was it getting you where you need to be or making the difference in the world that you want to make? Was it doing what your goals are? So I always like to ask people when they're budgeting and dealing with their money, is it getting them to their goals? And do you have your goals written down? And is your money taking away or getting you to your goal? I mean,
that almost reminds me of that other word that nobody likes, that people don't like to use. It's called budget.
Yeah, well, I don't call it a budget. I call it a pre-spending plan, because are you going to spend your money?
Aha, I like that.
Are you going to spend your money?
Of course.
I mean, this week you promised me you'll spend no money. And you know what? Just because whoever takes it out of your bank account does not mean you didn't spend it on the cable bill.
That's right.
Or your cell phone. So is where you're spending your money getting you where you want to be? That's what I love to ask my clients a lot, in your goals and your objectives. But then there's another problem that people, and Kathy brought it up, mindset with money. Some people think it's bad to have a lot of money. So if I make more money, that makes me bad. Again, that's getting more tools, which is an amoral thing. How are you using it? Are you giving somebody $50 to put in their wallet because they're in a hardship? And can you afford to do that? Are you feeding and giving water to those people in other countries? Are you providing for your family and having a 3 to 6 month? Are you paying for, like right now, I help with my kids' education, right? My daughter's going to school to be a teacher. My other child went to school as a pastor. Can they not go to school to make money? Oh my gosh, but they're trying to make a difference, right, in the community. And they still can live on a budget. So what do you want? And how is your money reflecting it? You know, there's 2 things you can show me. I'm going to get on my big soapbox. Show me where you spend your time and show me where you spend your money. And I'll know what your values are and who you are.
Oh, very good.
You show me your checkbook, right? And nothing is wrong with having a nest egg. I did not say that. You need to have a 3 to 6 month. You need to invest. You need to take care of yourself and not try to be a liability to others. But anyway, there's some of my big safe soapboxes regarding finances.
I like that. I like that.
And then Grace said a great analogy.
She thought that was a great analogy that you're using. Again, everything points to mindset. Isn't it strange how everything goes back to that?
But we get taught as Christians that to have money makes us bad. I don't know why. Like the root, what is it?
They say that money is the root of
money is the root of evil. Okay. But if I love this coffee cup more than I love God, or if I love going Facebook Live more than I love God, if I love this is going to be a hard one for me to say, but if I love my husband more than I love God, that's wrong, right? So it's not about, my husband, believe it or not, is a gift and a tool. Not really a tool. That sounds horrid, but a gift, right? That God's put in my life for who knows how long. My children don't belong to me. they're gifts that God gave me, right? And they're amazing. I got 4 amazing kids, in case you want to know. And I have the most awesome husband in the world. But God gave me those gifts, just like when he blessed you with money. And so how do you use those resources in your life?
I've been in on several webinars lately, and a lot of it is reminding us that, you know, we've got to work. We've got to support our family. We can't do it without money. So why is money such a difficult conversation? And why is it made so bad?
I don't know, but back in the day, we used to trade eggs. We used to trade milk. We used to trade, a cow for some. We traded. And now we just turn it into paper, except for now it's more plastic. And now it's more of a swipe. And now it's more of a just take it out of my bank account. Right? I mean, because they try to make it where you don't actually see that you're trading eggs.
You don't even realize what you're spending. I know when automatic deposits first came in, you might be too young to remember those days, but I do remember when those days were first starting. But I remember, though, that some of the public outcry was, don't do it. You work hard for that money. And if you don't get that check that in your hand, if it goes straight to your bank, you're not seeing the results of your labors. And then it becomes too easy. I got to tell you what, I've hardly ever carried cash with me. When McDonald's started taking the swipe card, it used to be, I don't have $1. I can't run through McDonald's. I got a card. I don't have to go to the ATM and get $1. I can go to McDonald's now and just swipe. But you swipe so often, you don't pay attention
exactly
to what you are spending. And you have to do that pre-spending plan. Because if not, it is really easy just to swipe and swipe and swipe. And all of a sudden I don't have any money. Where did it go?
Do you know that they knew that? Psychologists can show that that's true. Exactly what you're saying. And do you know that credit cards are actually a marketing thing that has been sold to us over time?
Sure.
And swiping, because if you use credit cards, you're going to spend more. If you use a debit card, you're going to spend more. If you use cash and you watch that dollar and you look in what'd you say? You had $50 in your billfold. You watch that dwindle down. You're going to change your mind on how you spend money. But I will say there's 2 ways people spend a lot of money. Going to McDonald's, going to Quick Trips, or going to $5. Oh, wait, is it called Starbucks? Coffee shops. Like, I love, first of all, Grace and I just found out about it through another friend about a new coffee shop. I'm going to have to meet Grace there, by the way. But anyway, that's off topic here. But my point is, coffee shops. It would be so much fun to go around because everybody knows I love meeting up with people for a cup of coffee. And so coffee shops would be fun. But if it's not in your budget, you could overspend.
Yes.
But Quick Trip, my daughter works there. You do know now you get your gas and they got food and coffee. And how much do you spend at Quick Trip? Did you only buy gas or do you stop there every morning or every Monday, get your gas and get how much more stuff? And then you just swipe your card and then you think your gas cost you $70 when it was really only $50 because the other $20 which it is $50 because gas is outrageous right now. Whatever it is. I'm joking, but not joking. How much can you just spend a lot more percentage?
Yes.
So, yeah, it's all about your spending habits. And don't worry, marketers are watching you.
Hey, speaking of mindset is one of the discussions on an upcoming event you and I have going.
I know. Isn't that exciting?
Were you aware of this? Let's see. Where is it?
What did Grace say real quick? Why are people who have success in life financially the new bad people? Mindset again. Instead, why not earn for not demise?
From them, let's learn from them and not demonize them. You know, I agree. I just recently was having a discussion with someone and they were, I don't even remember who they were talking about. They've got so much money. I don't know how they can sleep at night. They've worked for it.
But good people need money so they can do good things in the world.
Pam, I utilize my debit card as my accountability statement. Aha, keeping receipts for everything, and I document them so I can evaluate where my money goes, so I can see where to make changes. Great. Staying on top of it. That's the important thing there.
Well, I actually balance my checkbook every month. I know that's a weird concept. And
I balance every day.
I keep track of every penny, including our cash in QuickBooks. So anyway, that's important.
Yes. I use Quicken, and I balance every day. I check my bank account.
Yep.
I've had my accounts attacked 5 times. I know the minute it happens, and immediately start the battle.
And that's why we need things like Legal Shield or some kind of protection against your. So anyway, let's talk about what we want to talk about. We are going to talk about mindset. You said that we're going to talk about mindset on this great purposeful joy, but I heard we're going to talk about goal setting.
Yes, there are so many things that we're going to be talking about. I tell you, let me share a few of the things that we are going to be talking about. We are going to be talking about goal setting, mindset, confidence. Are you in business? How about a little bit of selling without really selling? That great Kathy Weaver is going to talk about networking. Self-care. I love Judy's going to talk about what's it called? Oh, even superheroes need self-care. Ladies, you are all superheroes, but you've got to remember to take care of yourself. And our friend Kim Myers is going to start us off by talking about leadership. What is leadership? We are leaders in our homes.
Well, and when you were talking about selling without selling and saying if you have a business, I was talking to some of our fellow Toastmasters, and sometimes we're not selling, but we're educating people on what Toastmasters is. So how many things do you want to educate or help people, right? And it might be called selling without selling, but if you're trying to get somebody to give to a great organization, things like that. Mm-hmm. So no matter what, I feel if you have your own business or if you're stay-at-home individual or whatever, that I know for a fact you want to hear Marilyn. Marilyn has been speaking for years too. So we have these great lineup of speakers, but more importantly, we are doing this because we want to help you create the life and business that you deserve, that you love. We want to make sure that you get those that you love. And we are empowering women to be successful in their life, in their business. And we're so excited about this summit.
And there's a couple of things that I think we need to note. One, we have set this up in such a way that you've got time in between each speaker to go check on the kids, throw in a load of laundry,
get a cup of coffee.
Get a cup of coffee because we know that you are busy. So we've scheduled this so there's going to be short breaks in between for you to go take care of what you need to take care of. And there will be access to the full recording through the end of the year. So you thought that Sherry gave this great speech speaking on goal setting, and you got your notes, but boy, I would love to hear her speak again. I was so inspired. You will have access to that through video links so that you can watch that again.
That's awesome. Yeah, and if you have some reason, we don't want you to miss anybody speaking, but if you miss one of the sessions, you'll be able to go back and do that. And we have purposely, with purposeful joy, kept it down to a very reasonable cost of $47. We are advertising, and we're using some of that money to advertise. But anyway, we are trying to keep it at a low cost of $47. That's all it is for 7 amazing speakers. And all these speakers, not that you have to live in Kansas, but they are all fellow Kansas women business owners.
Wait a minute. I'm on the Missouri side of that state line.
Well, that's your problem. Wait, I think some of them have that problem. Kansas is better than Missouri, but Kansas and Missouri always come together. So Kansas and Missouri are coming together to put on this great event. I'm really excited about this, that we are doing this event. And I hope to see you there. We want to make sure we show you guys the link, and we want everybody to get registered because we do have limited amount of seats too. So make sure you get registered ASP. So anyway, that's what we are excited about. Oh, and when is it, Terry Ann?
It is July 9th. This is a Friday night from 5 to 8 p.m. We know you've got to stop and maybe go check on the kids, make sure they didn't get to blood in their little sibling fights. That's okay. We're allowing that time. Friday night, 5 to 8 p.m. Saturday, 9 to 1 p.m. Central Time. And that means that you've got plenty of time to spend the afternoon, go to the pool, barbecue, whatever. We're not going to take up the whole weekend. So we're trying to work this around your busy schedule and make it easy for you to attend.
And again, we're videotaping because I know if you're like me, you might have to run somebody to soccer or basketball, or you might have something else going on in them, throughout the day. And it's on Zoom. Did you know that, Terry Ann?
So it's on Zoom. That's right. This is online.
I would prefer that you sit at your office and you take your little notes. But life doesn't always work that way. So you can always take us portably in the car. And a lot of the things that we're going to talk about are great for other family members, friends, and children to hear as well. So anyway, I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be $47. So now let's talk about something real important, Terry Ann.
And that is?
What are we speaking on next week, Wednesday?
I knew you were going to ask that. Oh my gosh, guess what? I don't know.
Because this whole theme of this month has been, what does it mean to you?
Yes, it is. And so
I'm sure the next topic is going to be on an event of what it means
me
to
off
you.
guard. I got so busy this morning with the technical issue that I created that we had major technical issues, hence why I don't have my beautiful postcard that Grace gave me, and I don't have much coffee, but it's okay. We're doing it. I'll tell you what you need to do then is watch for the announcements. We'll see you next week.
Oh yeah, and
I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but you know what happens every time? These videos that we are doing right now, they get uploaded on both of our YouTube channels, and we always post. Actually, Terry Ann posts. Terry Ann will post what we are doing the next Wednesday. So just put us on your schedule, 9:30 Wednesday. Come hang out with us. We will see you. Can you believe next Wednesday will be the 30th?
Of June. We'll say goodbye to June next week.
Yeah. So we will see you guys next week. Have a blessed day. Bye. Guys.